Welcome back to Keystone and More. It is Wednesday. It's time for Wednesday Night Rivalry. Nick and I are going to be talking about the greatest rivalries in sports right now. Tonight, what are we talking about, Nick?
So we're talking about the Pennsylvania rivalries, pretty much. Flyers, Pens, Pirates, Phillies, and Steelers, Eagles. East versus West, East Coast, Beast Coast, West Coast, Best Coast. And then we are also talking about the Antonio Brown situation that's happening in Pittsburgh. That team is just one big shit show right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're going to be talking those two things tonight and just cover some Keystone action.
Right now, we'll probably start off with the Antonio Brown story, which is the newest thing. In case you guys didn't know, Antonio Brown just released a statement saying he wants a request for a trade because he didn't win MVP for the Steelers. What do you think about that?
Well, okay, here's the thing. I don't think that's the reason he should want out. I don't even know if that is the reason he wants out. I think there's other reasons. One, Mike Tomlin. He doesn't like Mike Tomlin. We've known this for the longest of time. He doesn't like Mike Tomlin. To be honest, I can't blame him. Mike Tomlin, he might not be the worst coach, but he's not the best either. And Ben Roethlisberger is a great quarterback. So I don't know what his problem with Big Ben is. Big Ben say they don't have a problem. Antonio says they do. I'm gonna say they do because Antonio says they does, and he's the one who's requesting the trade.
Definitely. And going back to your point, Mike Tomlin may not be the best coach, and coming from a Steelers fan, yes, we had so much action during the middle of the season, during the Le'Veon Bell situation, if he's coming back or does not. And Mike Tomlin kept these guys together and led them to a 6-game win streak. So, and then there's been times where they just haven't finished the game. And to be honest, within Le'Veon Bell, not with Le'Veon, sorry, with Antonio Brown, he's been double teamed. Why? He's one of the best receivers in the game. That's what you expect. If you're not going to get the ball because he's being double teamed. But the Steelers found a good solution in going that 5 wide situation. Requesting a trade, is that the best option? If you want to win MVP on a team, go for it. You can go find another team that's probably not as good as the Steelers, but don't expect to win a Super Bowl there. I think if Antonio Brown wants to win a Super Bowl, it will come with the Steelers. It may take time, but I know it's going to come with the Steelers.
So I have a very unpopular opinion about what the Steelers should do. The Steelers have now, okay, let's be honest. They destroyed their season on their own. They can't blame anybody but themselves. They can blame the Browns all they want, but that's their problem. They lost, 4 straight games at one point this year. I get it, respectable teams, but you lost to the Chargers at home. The Chargers are a respectable team, but they lost to the Ravens at home, okay? You gotta beat the teams like the Chargers. You gotta beat the teams like that. You can't tie the Browns. These are just the things you can't do. You can't lose to the Ravens at home. These are the things you can't do if you want to win the division, if you want to make the playoffs, if you want to win the Super Bowl. You have to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Cool, you beat the Patriots. How about you beat some other teams too while you're at it?
Definitely, I think that goes back to, and this goes back to finishing games. You got to finish out strong.
Oh
You
yeah.
gotta have, and you gotta have team camaraderie. You can put the best players on a team together. You've seen it with the Golden State Warriors. They have the best players probably in the world, and they're starting to go down and starting to deteriorate with the chemistry. You gotta have good chemistry, and with Antonio Brown being like this, with other players shouting out, like Big Ben shouting out Mason Rudolph in the beginning of the year, and shouting out Washington in the beginning of the year, you can't have that on the team. You gotta be able to work with each other, trust each other. You gotta trust your coaches, trust to be able to win games, and you will find a way. Because again, like you said, they didn't lose because they played teams better than them. I'm gonna be honest, they're better than the Chargers. Obviously better than the Ravens. They're obviously better than the Raiders and the Broncos. They went 0-4 against the South. That's unacceptable if you want to make the playoffs. Even time with the Browns, and we saw how badly
You mean
that
the West, right?
yeah, the West. You know how like that tie to the Browns hurt them immensely. Maybe they would have had a better shot at making the playoffs if they would have beaten the Browns. But now they're 9-6-1. Could have been 10-6-1. But with that one tie, you got to find ways to win the game. And by requesting trades and putting out more drama, there's no way that you'll be able to
And
focus
let's
on
be
winning.
fair, back to that Browns game, the Steelers, they would have won that game. If it wasn't a tie, the Browns probably would have won. They looked better that day. They missed some field goals, but the Browns looked like the better team through and through, even though it was quite a sloppy game.
Definitely, definitely. You got to find ways to win. You got to play to win, and it's the defense. The defense has played well. Obviously, second most sacks in the NFL. You just got to play well. You got to trust everyone, and without that,
And I mean,
there's no way to win.
Juju's had a great year. I mean, guys that you weren't maybe expecting. James Conner, he had a great year. A young guy like T.J. Watt had a great year, and Ben Roethlisberger had a great year. Obviously he had a lot of picks, but he also had 42 touchdowns, I believe.
Hmm.
Insane year for him. But guys like Le'Veon Bell are in like in Miami on jet skis, and Antonio Brown is missing practices, and
If you
stuff
want,
like that.
again,
Star players
yeah.
aren't there.
If you want to win a Super Bowl, you gotta learn. You gotta be able to be with each other. You gotta find camaraderie. And what they did in the beginning of the year is they took a practice off, and they all went to Dave and Buster's for one practice, just to have team bonding. And I think that's the way to approach something like this. If you don't have team bonding and you don't trust each other, there's no way you're gonna crap the bed. And they got lucky this season by winning a couple of games. They did a
Yeah,
good job,
honestly, they could have been worse than the Browns. The Browns
definitely,
literally got second in the division.
definitely, and they got lucky.
Cleveland is a force to be reckoned with in years come.
Oh yeah, with Baker Mayfield is young. This will be a new Cleveland team. I can definitely see that. This NFC North now with Lamar Jackson. If the Bengals find their shit, they'll be good. This will be a good division. Definitely now with these three with the Browns, Ravens, and Steelers, this will be a new division that will be tough to play in. Moving on. So now we just got that out of the way. Thought we'd start some old news. So now talking about our rivalry, today's rivalry with Pennsylvania, we're going to talk about arguably the biggest rivalry in sports, Flyers Penguins, both in the Metropolitan Division in the NHL. We both hate each other. People might say Penguins and Capitals hate each other. No, we strongly dislike the Capitals, but we freaking hate the Flyers. For good reason, too. For good reason.
I would agree. There's been some great series over the years in this series. So
Definitely.
Reason to hate each other.
Definitely, first meeting we've met October 19th, 1967. Last year, the Penguins had a full sweep of you guys during the regular season. You guys have had times where you just utterly obliterated us.
Yeah. In the 60s and 70s, the Penguins were garbage, and we destroyed them. And
Definitely. Yep.
Because we were a dynasty back then.
Even in the early 2010s, you guys were better than us, especially coming into the playoffs.
2012 playoffs, you guys in 6 games.
Yep. So, and then we beat you guys in 5 last year, maybe 6. So there's ups and downs of when one team's stronger than the other, but still, no matter what, you always like to look for this rivalry. What is?
I mean, think about it like this: February 23rd at the link. I mean, the Flyers are having a terrible year.
But it'll be one of the highest, most watched games just because it's a rivalry.
And the Penguins are probably going to win that game just like they did last time. It was at Heinz Field when they won 4-2. They'll probably win this one too. But people will still watch. It will still probably be one of the highest rated outdoor games of all time.
I think one of the reasons why this rivalry is so great is it's not because of the players hating each other. It's also the fans and the outsiders. Everyone, it's the fans that hate each other. It's the teams. It's the managers. You've seen both coaches yelling at each other. You've seen players get into fights. Everything.
I remember 2012. I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is what 6 years ago. So I'm 8 years old, right? I'm 8 years old, and I'm watching a hockey game live at the Consol Energy Center. Went out to Pittsburgh for the weekend, and we're at the Consol Energy Center, and it's the Penguins and the Flyers. It means something. This was 2012. So this was This was the week before the playoffs. You probably remember this. You might remember this, but it was a week before the playoffs, and Flyers and Penguins playing each other. It's at Consol Energy, and they're playing each other at Consol Energy next week too. So 2 games, 7 days Consol Energy, and they get someone on the Penguins, totally forget who it was, just flat out obliterates Braden Shen. Danny Briere, a veteran on the team for the Flyers, is pissed. He is pissed. And there's a whole brawl. Everybody starts going crazy. Everybody starts going after each other. Lob Lilliette, for the coach of the Philadelphia Flyers at the time, and Balsma, the coach of the Penguins at the time, start yelling at each other like it's the end of the world. And then Scott Hartnell starts going and everybody's just going crazy, and the fans are going crazy, and that is what makes this rivalry so special.
It's always fun to watch, especially when it comes to playoff time. I remember I don't know about you, but when I saw Penguins Flyers first round series, I got hype because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if one of us gets killed. It's just always fun to watch. The result. It's not more about the results, more about the actual game that happens. If you know if that makes sense.
I agree. Like the first game, Penguins win 7-0. Cool. Then the Flyers go into their stadium and win by 3 goals. So I mean, it's such an up and down series.
It's never one team, and you've seen there's some rivalries that are just one-handed. Like you could say Patriots-Jets rivalry.
Yeah, that's just what I think about.
But it's so one-handedly Patriots that there's just no rivalry at this point.
That's the thing, and you notice that with rivalries. Like right now, we're finally getting to the point where the Cubs and the Cardinals are becoming rivals again.
Yep.
True rivals, because the Cubs are starting to finally become a force to be reckoned with, and now the Cardinals are starting to become a force to be reckoned with for the first time in the last 5-6 years. So, I mean, it's going to be a fun series out there in the NL Central, definitely. Not to get off track.
No, yeah, definitely, and this will be a fun. This year, we've always looked forward. We always, as a Penguins fan, I've always looked at the Flyers to see what they've done and how to make fun of them because I know you probably have jokes about the Penguins. I have jokes about the Flyers.
Definitely.
So, and it's always fun, especially the fans going into especially Flyers fans are funny. You know, getting pissed with the wrong reasons, thinking they're right even though they're completely wrong. And I've even as a Penguins fan, I know, and the rest of I've talked to the rest of the sports world. We all think you guys are the most arrogant fans in the world.
I'll take it. I don't care.
I don't know. I've heard Boston, but I don't know about Boston. 'Cause I don't really give a crap. I heard Boston's pretty bad, but they have good sports. That's the problem, though. You have to have good sports.
New York's bad too. New York's bad too, to be fair.
New York's okay. They know when to shut up. That's the thing. Because I remember during the Super Bowl last year, it's Patriots. Not to get off topic. Patriots, Eagles. And I was in a dilemma where I could root for the Patriots and they get their sixth Super Bowl tied with the Steelers, or I root for the Eagles, and they won't shut up about it. And they won, obviously. Now they won't shut up about it. Super Bowl, they're the sixth seed. They're gonna two-peat apparently.
Oh, by the way, for everybody that was watching the podcast tonight, Colts won. So.
They did, yes. So they moved in, no tie. But that was to be expected after Marcus Mariota was benched.
You guys got nailed on the dime.
Yeah. But definitely, this is gonna be a fun streak. Longest active winning streak between us was you guys. You guys have won 11 straight meetings.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah. Postseason results, you guys are up 21-20 on us. All-time series, you guys are winning 175-122. So it seems like you guys have the upper hand, but when you watch actual games, the actual seasons, last year was special. I mean, 4-0, that rarely happens.
Never happened.
It's usually 2-2 between us. 3-1, yeah.
Maybe.
And it's usually what I've seen with the past couple of games is it's usually whoever's away wins. You guys always play better in Pittsburgh. We always play better in Philadelphia.
I have noticed that.
Especially during the playoff series, we played great in Philadelphia, but terrible in Pittsburgh. So this is
Except game one.
game one. Well, that's because we had a hat trick. But other than that, we've usually played well.
Yeah, sounds good.
That's pretty much we exhausted that on the Flyers. Something short to keep us busy, keep you guys busy, so we get videos up. Definitely, throughout the rest of the week, there'll be more sports news. We've already talked about the college bowls. We'll give you a preview of that. Hopefully Friday, maybe Saturday morning, Nick and I will try to get on and talk about preview for Wildcard Weekend, as that's going to be kicked underway. And then again, Sunday night podcast where we go over everything that's happened in the college bowl because the playoffs would have been done. And I know for basketball, NCAA basketball tournament play is getting underway, so that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, conference play getting underway.
That's going to be really fun, and then maybe a little bit of baseball depending on what's going to happen since it's the new year. Hopefully people will be starting to sign. So Yankees signed Tulowitzki, so stuff like that's going to start to happen. And we're getting closer to the time where pitchers and catchers report to spring training, which will be always a fun time to watch.
Yes, sir.
So that'll be it for right now, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.